Hello pessoal, so finally after 6 months and a few days we have come to an end with our builders. We just couldn't put up with these anymore, so last week we had some really big arguments and heated discussions.
So yeah, as Fabio said, we have finally kicked the builders out and we are taking over the works. I wanted to show you quickly what has been done in the house since the last video, which is not a lot. Like the last video I think we made a month ago, and there's so little change, but still I want to just show you where they have left us with and where we are taking over basically. So right now they have pretty much finished plastering all the walls. There are some bits left, like here in this hall over there, because there's air conditioning still to come, so obviously all that needs to be closed. And there is some holes in the bedroom as well because of the air conditioner. But the rest of the walls are pretty much finished. Here in this room as well, they put these kind of crowns or moldings, or how do you call them? I'm not quite sure. They had to redo it completely in plaster, the same way as the old ones were, because they're just in a few places where they had to make holes. And this one was a really long one, and this is really still not looking good. We still have to work on it a little, but I hope we can make it look nicer. But yeah, it's pretty much done with the plastering. There's few little bits and pieces where we could improve some holes and maybe some sanding now and there, and like here in this place. But yeah, it's soon ready to paint, and that's also one of the reasons why we were more comfortable letting them go, because we knew that from here we can take over. And another thing that they have done is the bathroom. You can see Fabio is already hands-on trying to fix everything. They have tiled the bathroom floor, the shower part of the bathroom, and they put in a shower basin and the toilet. But the bathroom was really one of the reasons why we started all these discussions with them. And that is pretty much it, what they've done. So they spent a really long time making those moldings, and they spent like three weeks or so doing that tiling in the bathroom, and this is where all the nightmares with them started even more, because now they were coming every day, they were working all day, there was no not showing up anymore. But once they started doing something, we realized that everything they're doing is just crap. Sorry for the language, but it was just so bad that we just had to ask them once already to redo it. And after that we saw that they redo it and it's still really bad, we just had to take some kind of action and just say no, we just can't deal with this anymore. Not only it's been so long, but it also means that if they do a really shit job, that means we will have to stay with that, unless we want to redo everything and rip everything out and start over again, which we obviously don't want. But yeah, so that's been the journey with them. So now that we are taking over, I'm actually want to say that I feel already better. I think been feeling better already since the day we kicked them out, because it means that we have all the control of everything that's going on here. Even like small things like outside, they've always created big mess with everything. My flower beds were full of rubbish and everything like that. We have all the control that over this house, our project. We can take time as much as we want to do anything, and Yeah, it just I feel so much better and lighter without having to deal with them anymore. Since Fabio hasn't really been in much in the renovation videos, I've always been the one talking here. He would like to add some comments on all this process, so I will let him put in his comments on all this.
Some of you may ask, why did we leave this situation go for so long? And the reason why we did it was because just a few days, week maybe, after the guys had started here, one of our neighbors who works in construction and knew the guy told us that he already had a bad experience with the same person. So we were very on high alert since that moment, of course, but we had paid the deposit and the first 50%, and at the same time, things at the time were moving okay. They were coming and things were progressing, so there was not much we could do at that point. But we were obviously always expecting something to happen, which did happen. So over the next few months, lots of people, different people came to work. There was never really much progress. It was always just some little bits here and there because there wasn't either materials or people to work, whatever. We had to find out where the contractor lived. We had to pay him a couple of visits to his house when he was with his wife and kids to get things moving. So it wasn't just the prettiest story, let's put it that way. And it was very stressful for us as well. But because we couldn't afford to just lose all that money, we had to kind of take things as soft as possible to get them to do something. And that's what we did. We were as patient, they tested our patience to the limits. We just tried to be as patient as possible and let them, so we could get some stuff done, to lose as less money as possible. And that's why it took so long, that's why we let this thing drag. And we did get a lot of stuff done. So it still isn't, as per our calculations, it still isn't enough to pay or enough to be worth what we paid since the beginning. But we were now in a position where what we would lose is not that much. So it's something that we would be obviously have to accept, that we would lose that money if it comes to that point. And the biggest problem recently was, at some point it was because things were not moving. Nobody was here, materials were not here, and it was just stressful, obviously. But now we had people here, but things, just the finishes were not good enough. I mean, they were doing the tiling on that bathroom for 3 weeks. And it's like it's nothing. We are just putting tiles around the corner, and it was taking them forever, and the finish is horrible. We had to redo stuff. So came to a point where it's just not worth it, because whatever they are doing, we can't trust that it's going to be okay. So we may have to, and we may have to end up just doing it again. So there was no point in letting them continue. It's the same with the air conditionings. They did all the holes, and they told us how should we put it. Now that we kicked them out, I know a guy who owns an air conditioning company, so I asked him to come over and give us a quote and see what needs to be done and finish the job. And he was here. He was saying, well, whatever they did, I really don't recommend you doing it. So I spent the last 2 days opening other holes because these ones were not in the right places. It's all this kind of stuff. So yeah, we just had to get rid of them. It was, I think, on Friday, and I told him, please do not come back here. And we are trying to recover some of the money. We asked him to give us a number on what is worth and what they have done, and how much we have paid. And well, he said that he will pay us back the difference, basically. I'm not holding my breath, and let's see how that ends up. But yeah, so that's where we are. Now we have clean state and we are starting ourselves, we will do as much as we can ourselves because we have had such a bad experience that now we have some trust issues, let's say. So we're going to do as much as we can, and when there is something very specific that we can do, because there will be, like the air conditioning. I mean, I couldn't put it up or set up the whole system. When there is something like that, then we will hire someone just for that particular job, and yeah, that's how this is going to move on. That's it for now. We'll have a lot more videos on renovation now because we'll be doing it ourselves and hopefully putting videos up. So if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more of our renovation, don't forget to subscribe and see you next time.